Welcome to the Scuba Made YouTube channel. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This time my pod filters, or dual cone intakes, whatever you want to call them, they're here for the BMW. Now, I've not put these in before, but I'll just quickly explain to you what I've got. This one's already prepared, as you can see. I've just got a 3-inch to 2.25, 2.25 inch adapter there, which obviously you can see here, it's shiny. I've got this nice, like, you know, pod filter thing in 3-inch there, and it's got like the extra bit in here rather than some of them are just flat across here, so this one goes in there, which is cool. And I've got this thing which I've never really used before, but it claims it can like sort of repel water and stuff, and it's sort of like a filter for your filter. I've got it on here. Yeah, it's just like a light mesh over the filter. I'm not sure if they're any good, but they were pretty cheap, and this whole kit costs, I'm thinking I got changed from $100 probably Australian, so it was less than 100 Australian. And anyway, the dual cone intake kits you get seem to be like nearly 200, so it's like half the price of a actual dual cone intake. I obviously bought the pod filters individually. I bought 2. I bought these individually. I bought 2, and I bought these individually. And I bought 2. So here it all is. They all came at separate times. The pod filters came first, then these came, and then these came just the other day. So it's time to put them in. Now, enough chit chat. Let's get to it. Okay, now this will hopefully be the last time I take the air box out. To get this out, I'll just go through it quickly. We're going to take all this cowling stuff off, and then this one out, like this vacuum hose for the brake booster thing. Undo the hose clamp there, another hose clamp back there somewhere. Take that off, so this bit has to come out. Then pop all that out, and then once these are in there, that'll all be much easier to get to. So let's go. Alright, pretty basic on the tools here. A flat screwdriver for the hose clamps, an 8mm socket for these, 8 of them, 8 mils. A T20 Torx bit for these 2 front, the snout bit, and the rest should just pop out. Take this off by hand, I can do that now. And then clip it out of there. That's easy, that gets that out of the way. Alright, I'll start with the cowling. You just unscrew this bit, it just spins around and pops out. Get that out of the way. And then these little, if you can see, there's these little plastic tabs. You got 2 of them at each end which you have to undo. And last bit of this is this wiring. Sometimes you just need to stick a screwdriver in and pop this out. That pops out, and then the second one. That all comes off pretty easily. Alright, yeah, now I might get this snouty bit out. So for that, just, these won't be very tight. Right off there, and now that bit comes off nice and easily. Just put it to the side. Now, this. So, there's one hose clamp down here. Just loosen this off. I had this off fairly recently when I did the charge pipe, if you've seen that video. I did all this then too. And there's another hose clamp back here. I'll just show you. Yeah, that hose clamp there. And another hose clamp back here. It's really easy to get to. Oh, there we go. Once you've taken the cowling off. Comes out just like that, pretty easy. Probably could come out with this on. I'll put this back together. Alright, just keep this. This is going to be spare now. We don't need it anymore, but might hang on to it just in case it ever needs to go back on. Yeah, now we can see back in here where I put the charge pipe the other week. Now here in the charge pipe video I mentioned that I would be blocking off these when they came. I haven't done this one yet, but I'll show you in today's video. It's just that diverter valve thing that should have gone into that there. All I did was bought a 1-inch plug. I'll show you them later. And just stuck it in there. it's a nice snug fit, and I've driven it now and it doesn't pop out or anything, so that plugs off that hole nicely and it doesn't look bad at all. So this should be pretty easy from here. I think down there I can see my pressure fuel pump and the vacuum pump and all that stuff that's down there. It'll be much easier to get to all that without this big box in the way. Yeah, I think this is just as easy as sticking one of these in there like that. Just pretty much done. Do the other one. Anyway, I'll try and install one and see how we go. There's a little bit more to it. I tried to line up this, you can see the join there with the join in this little meshy thing. It's a real tight fit of this, so it was a little bit tricky to put on. And I think for now, I was going to paint these black, but I think I'll go with the chrome for now, and we'll see. I didn't want this engine bay to be like chrome and all that, but you never know. I am going to remove this diverter valve. Oh, there we go. Alright. There we go. Okay, this comes off by like, I guess, lifting up these bits and then spinning it, but it's a little bit tricky when it hasn't been done in a while. Anyway, that's that off. Put that over there. And I'll show you in a bit the plug that goes in there. So let's line this. I'm going to line this up at the bottom so it just looks like that from the top. Now, how can we do this? Okay, well, I think that's essentially in, just like that. Get this hose clamp on. Yeah, that can move around a bit, so might need to keep an eye on that. Anyway, time to assemble the second one. Yeah, the little mesh filter just looks like this. Just a real light mesh filter for the filter. And these came all nicely polished up and nicely wrapped, so yeah. And these were cheap. They were only like $25 each, I think. Something like that. And they look like it says Best Power Racing. You can see that, Best Power Racing. They're blue too, so it's nice and dark in there. Keep it all sort of dark around there, except for this is now shiny. Yeah. Anyway, it's as simple as popping that in there, pushing it in a little ways, and getting that hose clamp where you want it, which I want it to be in the little groove there, and then I want it to be in about line with that, and I'll put that to the bottom. So there it is, looking inside there, if you can see that. And this bit, so the join in this, which is there, I want it to line up with the join in the pod filter. Yeah, so about there, and then we just got to pull this all the way down. It's a pretty tight fit, this thing. It was kind of tricky to get it on evenly at the back, so it'll want to go on one side and then not on the other side. So there we go. Yeah, see, it wants to go on more on this side and then not enough on this side. There we go. Alright, not too bad. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty much lined up. Alright, ready to install the second pod filter. Oh, it might be a little tight. Hang on. Actually, before I put that in, I'll just mention quickly, that's the, that down there is the JB4 Plus that my buddy gave me. And that thing makes a huge difference. That made the car way faster. So yeah, that was the biggest increase in power I've noticed yet. So I don't know how much these little cone filters are going to give me, little pod filter things, but that they all seem to work with that JB4. Everything seems to come together. Like, I didn't notice much with the charge pipe, I didn't notice much with the down pipes. As soon as that JB4 Plus went in, it was a big difference. Now maybe with these pod filters it might be a bit of a difference as well, but we'll see. Gotta get them in first. Okay, I did have to reposition the blow-off valve, and I've now wrapped it with some black stuff so it looks pretty stock in there, or a bit tidier. But anyway, because it was over here before, and I've managed to get these on. They do sort of fit inside each other just there. Pretty, like, it's not tight, but they are sort of touching, so I might have to keep an eye on that, see how that plays out. Other than that, yeah, they're all in nice and tight. They look pretty cool. And I just got to put the put this back in. It'll fit up in there. Let's just position it. Yeah, it'll pretty much fit in up there like that. And then I just got to put that cowling back on. See, obviously I don't need the airbox anymore. Pop that back in and see how she looks. Let's go. Forget, I mentioned earlier how I plugged up that hole down there, and I've still got that hole up there. So what it is it's a garden fitting, I think, like garden hose fitting or something. They were just called 1 inch or 25 mil plugs or something like that. And I've actually had to sand it down a little bit, as you can see, because it's so tight in the hole, it still doesn't really even fit. But that's good, because it's probably going to be airtight if it's this tight. So because I've ground it down or sanded it down a little bit, it can now go in, but it's really tight. So I'll just have to push it on. That should seal. Yeah, there we go. And it pops in, and that's probably going to be relatively hard to get out, but there's that little groove there where you can stick something in and get it out, I guess. But that's in there tight. That's good. And since this is just an inlet, it should mostly be sucking air in. Same with this one. Yeah, just sucking air in. Might get the occasional air back, but just if that blows out, it'll just mean the air that sucks in isn't getting filtered. So I'll probably have to keep an eye on that, but I'm sure I'll be able to tell if they fall out. They're in there really tight, so that should be fine. Okay, let's get that car back on. Right, we're all back together now, and everything's in, and I even rigged up this little zip-tied bit here, because this thing wanted to point about that direction, and I just got it to here, so that all the air will be coming out of here straight into the pod filters, hopefully. It's a bit dirty in there, so I'll clean that up when I get a chance. I relocated the blow-off valve to there from about there, so that's no major thing. But yeah, there's a lot more room in there now, as you can probably see. You can see everything back there, and yeah, you can reach down here and you can see that pretty easily and everything. And I don't know, it looks pretty cool. Changes it around a bit. Needs, yeah, a bit of a clean in there, and we'll get to that pretty quick. So yeah, I think that just about wraps up the video. Nice and easy and quick, and hopefully gives me a little bit of extra performance now that I got that JB4 Plus in there, and the dump pipes, intercooler, dual cone intake, charge pipe, yeah, blow-off valve. Yeah, that should see a fair bit of improvement, I hope, and be awesome to drive. If you like it, leave us a like. If you want to ask anything, leave a comment, because, you know, obviously I didn't buy the original dual cone intakes for this car. I just bought bits and stuck them together, so it was cheaper, and maybe it was a little harder to install because of that, because I ran into a bit of trouble. Anyway, feel free to subscribe to stay up to date for the next and upcoming videos, which will be something. And share it around if you want, so show your friends. Anyway, thanks heaps for watching. It should sound a bit different too with these. It might be a bit throatier, because I remember my 325i, when I had the top off, it was much deeper, the noise and everything. So yeah, see how we go. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.